In a quiet little house, a baby with big, curious eyes was watching the rain from the window. The sky was dark and the wind was howling, making the trees dance wildly. Raindrops raced down the glass pane, and the baby giggled, tapping his tiny fingers against the window as if trying to catch them. The storm was getting stronger, a real spectacle of nature's power. It was the kind of day for staying warm and cozy inside, wrapped in a soft blanket. The baby, safe in his high chair, watched the world outside get soaked, completely fascinated by the dramatic weather unfolding before him. Suddenly, through the rhythmic drumming of the rain and the rumbling of thunder, a faint sound reached his ears. It was a tiny, weak chirp, almost lost in the noise of the storm. The baby's head tilted. He stopped tapping the window and listened intently. There it was again, a little peep, peep, sounding so fragile and scared. He looked around the room, then back outside, his brow furrowed in concentration. Where was that sound coming from? It sounded like someone was calling for help. He pointed a chubby finger towards the window and babbled, trying to get his mum's attention. His mum, noticing his sudden change in behavior, came over to see what had captured his interest. She followed his gaze to the rain-lashed garden just below the window, and there, huddled against the base of a large oak tree, was a tiny, drenched bundle of feathers. A baby bird had fallen from its nest high up in the branches. It was shivering, soaked to the bone, and chirping desperately for its parents, who were nowhere to be seen. The wind was relentless, and the poor little creature looked completely helpless against the power of the storm. Seeing the tiny bird in distress, the baby's expression changed from curiosity to concern. He let out a soft coo, as if trying to comfort the little creature from inside the house. He pushed against his high chair's tray, wanting to get closer, wanting to do something. It was a powerful, instinctual reactionary desire to help something so small and vulnerable. Even though he was just a baby himself, he understood that the little bird was in trouble. He looked up at his mum with pleading eyes, pointing again and again at the struggling bird, his message clear: we have to help. His mum's heart melted. She gently lifted him out of his high chair and said, "You're right, sweetheart. We can't just leave it out there." The storm was really raging now. The wind howled like a hungry wolf, and rain was coming down in sheets. It was a daunting task, but inspired by her baby's compassion, she knew they had to try. The tension in the cozy room grew. Every clap of thunder made them jump, thinking of the tiny bird outside. The rescue mission was on, but the weather was making it incredibly dangerous. Wrapping the baby in a warm blanket, his mom handed him to his dad. "You two stay here and keep watch," she said, pulling on her raincoat and boots. Dad held the baby close to the window, and they both watched as Mum bravely ventured out into the storm. She moved carefully across the slippery grass, shielding her face from the driving rain. The wind tugged at her coat, trying to push her back. The baby pressed his face against the glass, his eyes wide with worry, watching his mum's every move. He let out small, anxious sounds, as if cheering her on. She finally reached the base of the tree and knelt, gently scooping up the tiny, shivering bird into her hands. It was even smaller up close, its heart beating like a tiny drum against her palm. She cupped her hands around it to protect it from the wind and rain and hurried back inside. As soon as she was in, she was met by her husband and her son, who had a look of pure relief on his face. The family was now a rescue team, united by a common purpose. They placed the little bird in a small box lined with soft towels, creating a makeshift nest. They carefully placed the box near a warm, but not too hot, part of the room. The baby watched, completely captivated. He would crawl over to the box and peer inside, his expression a mixture of awe and tenderness. He'd make soft cooing sounds, as if trying to speak the bird's language. The family learned how to care for the fledgling, feeding it tiny bits of food with tweezers. Slowly but surely, the little bird, whom they named Pip, began to recover. Its feathers dried out, it stopped shivering, and its chirps grew stronger and more confident each day. Pip grew quickly under their loving care. Soon its feathers fluffed up, and it started hopping round the box, testing its wings with little flutters. The baby was its constant companion. He would spend hours just watching Pip, giggling with delight whenever the bird chirped or hopped. It was a beautiful sight, the two of them, so small and innocent, forming an unlikely friendship. The day came when Pip was strong enough to fly. With a mix of sadness and pride, the family took Pip outside on a sunny morning. After a few hesitant chirps, Pip took flight, circling above them once before soaring into the blue sky. The baby watched Pip disappear, his hand waving a slow, tiny goodbye. The house felt a little quieter without the constant chirping, but their story wasn't over. The very next morning, as the baby was playing in the living room, a familiar chirp came from the window. It was Pip. The little bird had returned and was perched on the windowsill, looking in. The baby's face lit up with pure joy. He crawled over as fast as he could, pressing his hands against the glass, babbling excitedly. Pip chirped back, a happy, familiar song. This became their daily ritual. Every morning, Pip would fly to the window to greet his friend. It was a magical reunion each time. The bird would sometimes bring little gifts, a shiny leaf or a small twig, and leave them on the sill. The bond they had formed during the storm was unbreakable. Their friendship was a testament to the fact that kindness knows no size or species. The baby, with his simple, pure-hearted concern, had started it all. It was a powerful reminder that even the smallest and most gentle hands in the world have the power to save a life and make a difference. Their story became a quiet legend in their home, a beautiful memory of a stormy day that brought an unexpected friendship. It showed everyone that compassion is a universal language, understood by the youngest of hearts. And it all started with a baby, a window, and the decision to listen to a tiny voice in the middle of a storm. Thank you so much for watching this heartwarming story. If it touched your heart, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more uplifting content. We'll see you in the next one.